Welcome to my channel, Book 2 Fluent. Have you ever felt like you understand English, but when it's time to speak, your mind goes blank? What if I tell you you can start speaking English from today, not tomorrow, not next month, today? Stay with me, because this video can change everything. Chapter 1: Why You Are Not Speaking Yet. You know something very interesting, and maybe a little painful too. You already know some English. You understand many words. You can read simple sentences. You can even understand videos sometimes. But when it's time to speak, something stops you. Your mouth becomes silent. Your mind becomes empty. Your heart beats a little faster. And suddenly, you feel like you know nothing. If this feels like your story, then listen carefully, because this chapter is about you. The truth is, you are not alone. Millions of people around the world feel exactly like this. They study English for years. They watch videos, they read books, they learn grammar. But when someone asks them a simple question like, "How are you?" they freeze. Not because they don't know the answer, but because something inside them is blocking them. And that something is not lack of knowledge, it is fear. Yes, fear. A very quiet, invisible fear. The fear of making mistakes. The fear of saying something wrong. The fear that people will laugh. The fear that people will judge. And because of this fear, you choose silence. You tell yourself, "I will speak when I am ready. I will speak when my English is perfect." But let me tell you something very honestly. That day never comes. Because perfect English is not the starting point. It is the result. And if you keep waiting for perfection, you will keep waiting forever. Let me ask you a simple question. When a child learns to speak, do they wait to become perfect? No. They speak broken words. They make mistakes. They repeat wrong sentences. But they keep speaking. And slowly, their language grows. Now imagine if a child said, "I will not speak until I am perfect." That child would never learn to speak. And right now, many English learners are doing the same thing. They are waiting, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for perfect grammar, waiting for perfect confidence. But this waiting is the real problem. Not your English, not your vocabulary, not your grammar. It is the waiting that is stopping your voice. There is something very powerful you need to understand today. Speaking is not the result of learning English. Speaking is the way you learn English. Let me say it again, because this can change your life. You do not learn first and speak later. You speak, and that is how you learn. But your mind has learned the opposite. Your mind says, "First learn everything, then speak." And because of this wrong belief, you are stuck. You are collecting knowledge, but you are not using it. You are filling your brain, but your mouth stays closed. And slowly, something even more dangerous happens. You start losing confidence. You start thinking, "Maybe I am not good at English. Maybe English is not for me." But this is not true. The problem is not your ability. The problem is your method. Let's change something right now. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. Someone asks you a simple question in English, and instead of staying silent, you say something. Maybe not perfect, maybe a little broken, but you say it. And after you say it, you feel something new. A small confidence, a small happiness, a small victory. That feeling is the beginning of fluency. You don't need to speak perfectly. You just need to speak. Even one sentence, even a small sentence, even a simple sentence like, "I am learning English." That one sentence is more powerful than 1,000 words you never speak. Many learners think speaking is a big step, something difficult, something scary. But the truth is, speaking starts very small, very simple, and very imperfect. You are not silent because you don't know English. You are silent because you are afraid to use it. And today, we are going to break that fear. Because let me tell you something very clearly. The world is not waiting for your perfect English. The world is waiting for your voice. People don't care if you make small mistakes. People care if you try. People respect effort. People understand struggle. And even if someone judges you, that is not your problem. That is their thinking. You are learning. You are growing. You are becoming better every day. And that is something to be proud of. From today, you will stop waiting. You will stop hiding behind perfection. You will stop saying, "I will speak later," because later is the biggest lie. There is only one right time to start speaking English, and that time is today. Maybe your first sentence will be slow. Maybe you will forget words. Maybe you will feel nervous. That's okay. That is part of the journey. That is how every fluent speaker started. Not perfect, not confident, just willing to try. And right now, I want you to understand something deep inside your heart. Your silence is not your comfort zone. Your silence is your prison. And the moment you speak, even one small sentence, you open the door. This is your first step. This is your first breakthrough. This is where everything begins. So don't wait anymore, because your English is not coming in the future. Your English starts the moment you decide to speak, and that moment is now. Chapter 2. Start with what you already know. Now let me tell you something that can completely change the way you see your English. You are not starting from zero. You are not empty. You are not someone who doesn't know English. You already know many words. You already understand many things. The only problem is, you are not using what you already have. And today, we are going to change that. Most learners believe they need more vocabulary before they start speaking. They think, "I don't know enough words. I need to learn more first." But this belief is slowing you down. Because the truth is, you don't need more words. You need to use the words you already know. Even if you know just 20 words, you can start speaking. Even if you know just 10 words, you can start. Let's make it very simple. Think about these words: I, you, go, eat, like, want, this, that, good, bad. These are very basic words. You already know them. Now look what happens when you use them together. I want food. I like this. I go home. This is good. These are not big sentences. They are not perfect sentences. But they are real sentences. They are communication. They are speaking. And that is the goal. Not perfection, communication. You don't need long sentences. You don't need difficult grammar. You need simple, clear expressions. The kind of English that people use every day. The kind of English that feels natural, not heavy. Let me show you something powerful. Imagine you are hungry. Instead of staying silent, you say, "I want food." That is enough. People understand you. You are communicating. Now imagine you see something you like. You say, "I like this." Again, simple but powerful. You are using English in real life. This is how speaking starts. Not with big words, not with perfect grammar, but with simple, useful sentences. Many learners make a mistake. They try to speak like a native speaker from day one. They try to use difficult words, long sentences, complex grammar, and when they can't do it, they feel disappointed. They feel like they are not good enough, so they stop speaking. But you don't need to sound like a native speaker. You need to sound like a learner who is trying. That is enough. That is powerful. Think about this. When you were a child, did you speak perfect sentences? No. You spoke small words. You repeated simple patterns. You made mistakes, but you kept going. And slowly, your language became stronger. English is the same. You don't need to jump to the top. You need to take small steps. And those small steps start with the words you already know. Now I want you to imagine something. You wake up in the morning. Instead of thinking in silence, you say, I wake up. Then you go to the kitchen. I eat food. Then you go outside. I go out. These are very simple sentences, but you are speaking. You are practicing. You are building your English step by step. This is how fluency grows, not from big effort, but from small daily use. And here is something very important. When you use the words you already know, your brain becomes faster, your confidence becomes stronger. You stop feeling stuck. You start feeling active. You start feeling like a speaker. Because speaking is not about knowing everything. Speaking is about using something. Even if it is small, even if it is simple, even if it is not perfect, you use it. That is the difference between someone who learns English and someone who speaks English. Now let me tell you a small truth that many people don't realize. The most common English in the world is not complicated. It is simple. People use short sentences, basic words, clear expressions. Even fluent speakers use simple English in daily life. So why are you trying to make it difficult? Why are you waiting to learn more when you can start now? You already have enough to begin. And once you begin, something magical happens. Your brain starts connecting words faster. Your sentences become easier. Your confidence grows. And slowly, without even realizing, your English improves. But it only happens when you start using, not when you keep collecting. So from today, make a small promise to yourself. You will not wait to learn more words before speaking. You will use the words you already know. You will speak small sentences. You will allow yourself to be simple because simple is not weak. Simple is powerful. Simple is the beginning of fluency. And remember this line. This can change your journey. You don't need more words. You need more courage to use your words. So start now. Look around you. Say something. Even one sentence, even a small one, because the moment you start using what you already know, that is the moment your English truly begins. Chapter 3. Speak before you feel ready. Now we are going to talk about something that changes everything. This is the moment where most people stop and a few people move forward. This is the moment that decides who becomes a speaker and who stays a learner forever. And that is this simple idea. You must speak before you feel ready. I know what your mind is saying right now, but I am not ready. My English is not good. I will start speaking when I feel confident. This sounds logical. This sounds safe. But this is also the biggest trap. Because confidence does not come before speaking. Confidence comes after speaking. Let me say it in a very simple way. You don't become confident and then speak. You speak, and that is how you become confident. But your mind is waiting for the opposite. Your mind is waiting for a feeling that will never come until you take action. Think about this. The first time you did something new in your life, maybe riding a bicycle, maybe speaking in front of people, maybe trying something difficult. Were you confident before you started? No, you were nervous, you were unsure, maybe even afraid, but you still tried. And slowly, your confidence grew. English speaking is the same. You are not waiting for the right time, you are creating it. There are two types of learners in this world. The first type keeps preparing. They learn grammar, they watch videos, they read books, they wait for the perfect moment. Months pass, years pass, but they still don't speak. The second type starts early. They speak small sentences, they make mistakes, they feel uncomfortable, but they keep going. And slowly, they improve. Their English becomes natural. Their confidence becomes strong. Now ask yourself honestly, which type do you want to be? Because both paths are available, but only one leads to real speaking. Let me tell you a small story. There was a learner who knew a lot of English. He understood grammar, he had a good vocabulary, but he never spoke. He was always waiting, waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel confident. And after 2 years, nothing changed. He was still silent. Then there was another learner. He knew very little English. His sentences were broken. His grammar was not correct. But he started speaking from day one. Even simple sentences, even small expressions. And after a few months, something amazing happened. He was not perfect, but he was speaking. He was communicating. He was improving. The difference was not intelligence. The difference was action. The second learner did something powerful. He allowed himself to be imperfect. And this is what you need to do. Right now, you are trying to protect yourself. You don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to feel embarrassed. You want everything to be correct. But this protection is stopping your growth. Because mistakes are not your enemy. Mistakes are your teachers. Every time you speak and make a mistake, your brain learns. Every time you try and feel uncomfortable, your confidence grows. Every time you speak, even if it is not perfect, you become better. But if you stay silent, nothing changes. Let me give you a powerful thought. Your first sentence in English will not be perfect, but it will be powerful. Because it breaks your fear, it breaks your silence, it opens the door. And once that door is open, everything becomes easier. You don't need to speak long sentences. You don't need to speak fast. You don't need to speak perfectly. You just need to start. Even if your sentence is slow, even if you stop in the middle, even if you forget words, it is okay. Because you are doing something most people are afraid to do. You are speaking, and that makes you different. Now imagine this moment. Someone asks you something in English, and instead of staying silent, you say something. Maybe small, maybe simple, but you say it. And after that, you feel something new inside you. A small confidence, a small belief, a small voice that says, I can do this. That moment is the beginning of your new journey. From that moment, you are not just learning English, you are living it. So stop waiting for confidence. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting for the perfect English. Because none of these things come first. They come after you start. From today, give yourself permission to speak badly. Yes, badly. Because bad speaking is the first step to good speaking. And good speaking is the first step to fluent speaking. If you wait to speak perfectly, you will never start. But if you start speaking imperfectly, you will never stop improving. This is your shift. This is your turning point. You are not someone who waits anymore. You are someone who tries. You are someone who speaks. Even if it is small, even if it is not perfect, even if it feels uncomfortable, because growth is always uncomfortable at the beginning. But comfort will come later. Confidence will come later. Fluency will come later. First, you must speak. And once you do, everything changes. So don't ask yourself, am I ready? Ask yourself something more powerful. Am I willing to start? Because the moment you say yes, your English journey truly begins. Chapter 4. Talk to yourself every day. Now let me show you something simple, something powerful, and something that can completely change your English without needing any partner, any class, or any special environment. This is your secret weapon. This is your daily practice. This is something you can start right now at this exact moment, and that is talking to yourself in English. Yes, talking to yourself. It may sound strange at first. Your mind may say, this is funny. This is not real speaking. But let me tell you the truth. This is one of the most powerful ways to build real fluency. Because when you talk to yourself, there is no fear. No one is judging you. No one is watching you. No one is correcting you. It is just you and your voice. And this is where real practice begins. Most learners are waiting for someone to speak with. They say, I don't have a partner. I don't have anyone to practice with. I will speak when I find someone. But again, this is waiting. And you already know waiting is the problem. You don't need people to start speaking. You need yourself, because you are always with yourself. You are your first partner, your safest partner, your daily partner. Now imagine your day. You wake up in the morning. Instead of silence, you say, I wake up. You go to the bathroom. I wash my face. You go to the kitchen. I make tea. You sit down. I feel sleepy. These are very small sentences, very simple, but you are speaking. You are using English in your real life. This is not practice from a book. This is practice from your life. And that makes it powerful. Because language is not something you memorize. Language is something you live. When you talk to yourself, you are connecting English with your daily actions, with your feelings, with your thoughts. And slowly, English becomes natural. It becomes part of your life. Not something separate, not something difficult, just something you use. At the beginning, it may feel slow. You may stop. You may think, what should I say? That is okay. That is part of the process. Don't try to be fast. Don't try to be perfect. Just try to express something, even if it is one sentence, even if it is broken, even if it is very simple. You are training your brain. You are training your mouth. You are building a new habit, and habits are powerful. Let me give you another situation. You are walking outside. You see people. You see shops. You see cars. Now, instead of just looking, you speak. I see a car. People are walking. This shop is big. Again, simple sentences. But you are thinking and speaking in English at the same time. This is how your brain starts changing. This is how English becomes automatic. Because you are not translating. You are not thinking too much. You are just speaking what you see. And slowly, your speed improves. Your confidence improves. Your comfort improves. Now think about your feelings. You are happy. You say, I feel happy. You are tired. I feel tired. You are confused. I don't understand. These are real expressions. These are real emotions. And when you speak your feelings, English becomes emotional. It becomes real. It becomes yours. This is very important because when language has emotion, it stays in your mind. It becomes strong. It becomes natural. Many learners only learn from books, but books don't have your life. Books don't have your feelings. Books don't have your daily experiences. That is why self-talk is so powerful, because it is your English, your world, your story. And the best part is, you can do it anytime. You don't need time. You don't need preparation. You don't need permission. You can start right now. Even if you are sitting, you can say, I am sitting. Even if you are thinking, you can say, I am thinking. Even if you don't know what to say, you can say, I don't know what to say. And that is still speaking. That is still progress. Now let me tell you something important. Don't worry about mistakes when you talk to yourself. There is no one to judge you. There is no one to stop you. This is your safe space. This is where you experiment. This is where you grow. Because real confidence is built in private, before it is shown in public. When you talk to yourself every day, something changes inside you. Slowly, your fear becomes smaller, your voice becomes stronger, your mind becomes faster, and one day, when you speak to someone else, you will feel ready. Not because you waited, but because you practiced. This is your hidden training. This is your daily gym for English. And just like the gym, small daily effort creates big results. 5 minutes today, 5 minutes tomorrow, 5 minutes every day. And after some time, you will not even realize when English became easy for you, when speaking became normal, when your silence disappeared. So from today, make a simple habit. Talk to yourself in English. Not once, not sometimes, but every day. Because you don't need a perfect situation to start. You just need a simple decision. And that decision is this: I will speak, even if I am alone, because you are not alone. You are with your best teacher, yourself. And when you start using your voice every day, you will see something beautiful happen. English will stop being something you learn, and it will become something you live. Chapter 5. Think in English, not translate. Now we are going to unlock one of the most powerful secrets of speaking English fluently. And this is the point where many learners either move forward very fast or stay stuck for a long time. Because the real problem is not your vocabulary and not your grammar. The real problem is translation. You hear something in English, and your brain quickly tries to convert it into your own language. Then you create a sentence in your own language, and again try to convert it back into English. And in this process you feel slow, confused, and stuck. And by the time you are ready to speak, the moment is already gone, and you feel like you cannot speak. But the truth is, you are not slow. Your method is slow. Because real speaking does not happen through translation. Real speaking happens through direct thinking. Just like you do in your own language, you don't translate there, you just think and speak. And now we are going to build that same system in English, step by step, very simply, very naturally. So instead of translating the word apple into your language, you see the image of an apple in your mind. Instead of translating I am tired, you feel the emotion of tiredness and say it directly. This is called direct connection, word to image, word to feeling. And this is how fluent speakers think. They don't translate, they connect. And you can start doing this from today, with very small steps. When you see something, don't name it in your language, name it in English. When you feel something, don't describe it in your language, describe it in English. When you think something, try to keep it in simple English words, even if the sentence is small like I am happy, I am hungry, I go now. This is enough, because you are training your brain to think directly. And at the beginning it will feel slow. Your mind will try to go back to your native language. It will feel uncomfortable. But this is a good sign, because your brain is learning something new. And every time you stop translating and try to think in English, you are building a new habit, a new pathway in your brain. And slowly this pathway becomes stronger, faster, and easier. And one day you will realize something amazing. You are thinking in English without trying. You are speaking without delay. Your sentences are coming naturally. And this is the moment where fluency begins, not when you learn more words, but when you start using your mind differently. So don't fight your brain. Guide it gently. Keep your sentences short. Keep your thoughts simple. Focus on meaning, not perfection. And remember this powerful line: the day you stop translating is the day you start speaking. So from today, make a small change. Whenever you catch yourself translating, pause, breathe, and try again in simple English, even if it is not perfect, because this small change will create a big transformation. And this is how you move from slow thinking to natural speaking, from confusion to clarity, from silence to expression, and this is where your real English journey becomes alive. Chapter 6: Build a daily speaking habit. Now we come to something that looks simple, but has the power to change your entire life, and that is building a daily speaking habit. Because speaking English is not something you do one day and become fluent, it is something you do every day and slowly become natural. And many learners fail not because they are not smart, but because they are not consistent. They speak one day, then stop for 3 days, then try again, then stop again, and this breaks their progress. This breaks their confidence. But fluency does not come from big effort once, it comes from small effort every day. And this is the mindset you need to build from today. You don't need 1 hour. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need motivation every time. You just need 5 minutes every single day. Yes, just 5 minutes. Because 5 minutes daily is more powerful than 1 hour once a week. Because when you repeat something daily, your brain starts accepting it as normal. Just like brushing your teeth. You don't think about it, you just do it. And English speaking should become like that. A natural part of your day, not a special task. So create a simple routine. Maybe in the morning after you wake up, you speak for 5 minutes. You describe your day, your plan, your feelings. Or maybe at night before sleeping, you speak about what you did, what you saw, what you learned. Keep it simple, keep it real. Don't try to be perfect, just try to be consistent. Because consistency builds confidence, and confidence builds fluency. And here is something very powerful. When you speak daily, even for a few minutes, your fear starts disappearing, your hesitation becomes smaller, your sentences become easier, and slowly you start enjoying the process. Because now English is not something you are forcing, it is something you are living. And you can also track your progress. Maybe record your voice today, then after 1 week record again. And when you listen, you will hear the difference. And that small improvement will give you big motivation. And this is how you keep going, not by waiting for motivation, but by creating results, small results every day. And even on days when you don't feel like speaking, you still speak, maybe just 1 minute, maybe just 1 sentence, but you don't break the chain. Because once you break the habit, it becomes hard to start again. So protect your daily practice, even if it is small. Because small daily action creates big long-term change. And remember this deeply, you are not trying to become perfect in 1 day. You are building a habit that will make you fluent one day. And that is a very powerful difference. So from today, don't say I will speak when I have time. Say I will speak every day, even for 5 minutes. Because this one decision can change everything. And slowly, day by day, you will not even realize when English becomes part of your life. When speaking becomes easy, when your confidence becomes strong, and when your identity changes from someone who is learning English to someone who speaks English every day. Chapter 7: You are a speaker. Now this is your moment. This is where everything comes together. And this is where you see yourself in a completely new way. Because you are not the same person who started this video. Something has already changed inside you. Maybe small, maybe quiet, but real. And now I want you to imagine a simple situation. Someone asks you a question in English, and this time you don't stay silent. You don't look down. You don't wait. You say something. Maybe a short sentence, maybe not perfect, but you speak. And in that moment you feel something powerful. You feel alive. You feel confident. You feel proud because you did not run away. You stepped forward. And that is the real transformation. Not perfect grammar, not big vocabulary, but the courage to speak. And now you understand everything we talked about. You are not waiting for perfect English anymore. You are using simple words. You are speaking before you feel ready. You are talking to yourself every day. You are trying to think in English. You are building a daily habit, and all these small actions are creating a new identity. You are no longer just a learner, you are becoming a speaker, and this shift is everything. Because once you see yourself as a speaker, your actions change, your mindset changes, your confidence grows naturally. You stop saying, I can't speak English, and you start saying, I am learning to speak, and I am speaking every day. And that small change in words changes your whole journey. And yes, you will still make mistakes. Yes, sometimes you will forget words. Yes, sometimes you will feel nervous. But now it doesn't stop you, because you know this is part of the process. This is how you grow. This is how every fluent speaker became fluent, not by being perfect, but by continuing. And now you are doing the same. You are continuing, step by step, day by day, sentence by sentence, and slowly your English is becoming stronger, your voice is becoming clearer, your thoughts are becoming faster, and one day you will look back and realize that the fear you had is gone, the silence you lived in is gone, and in its place there is confidence, there is expression, there is freedom, and that is what English gives you. Not just a language, but a new way to express yourself, a new way to connect with the world, a new way to believe in yourself. So from today, don't say I will start someday, because you have already started. Don't say I am not ready, because you are already speaking. Don't say I am just a learner, because now you are more than that. You are a speaker in progress, and that is powerful. So keep going, keep speaking, keep trying, because this is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning of your real English life. And the most beautiful part is this: your voice was always inside you, you just needed the courage to use it. And now you have that courage, so speak, grow, and become the person you always wanted to be.